Krista here with Books and Jams, and instead of my normal Friday 5 today, I'm going to share with you all of the middle grade books that I have out from the library. And there's a ton of them. I mentioned in my March TBR that one of my goals for the month is going to be to read a book a day. Now I, as you can see, have lots of middle grade books already on my shelves, but so many of you have been posting videos and recommending books. I have just found so many from the library that I'm also very, very interested in reading this month. So I'm just going to share those with you now. The first one I have on my pile here is called The Penderwix, and this is by Jean Birdsall. The subtitle says, A Summer Tale of 4 Sisters, 2 Rabbits, and a Very Interesting Boy. I feel like this is going to be kind of an old-fashioned book that I should have probably read when I was a child, but never did. In this story, we have a family of 4 sisters and their father who go on a summer vacation, and they think they're going to a little cottage, and they end up on this grand estate. So it's just about these 4 sisters, each who has their very distinct personality and a little friend that they make when they are on vacation. It just sounds like it's going to be a lot of fun, and I have heard very good things about it. It seems like it's going to be a fun read. The second book I also have found on my Hoopla app, the audiobook app connected to my libraries, and that is Echo, which is by Pam Munoz Ryan. And I heard that the audio of this is really good, so I'm very interested in listening to it. It's about a boy named Otto during World War II who somehow runs into these mysterious sisters and is sent on this puzzling quest, which somehow has something to do with a harmonica. And then decades later, we follow these 3 other children, Friedrich in Germany, Mike in Pennsylvania, and Ivy in California. And somehow this harmonica lands in their lives, and so their lives are somehow intertwined, with the central character being this harmonica. So I've just heard really good things about this as well. I'm looking forward to reading it both in print and on audiobook. The next book I have out from the library is called Brown Girl Dreaming by Jacqueline Woodson, and this is a nonfiction. It is also a National Book Award winner. This is Jacqueline Woodson's memoir, and it is written in verse, which is very interesting, and I'm very excited about this. I've heard good things about it. I've only read one other book that was written in verse, and so I'm looking forward to giving that another go. I don't always do so good with memoirs, but I'm wondering if because it's middle grade and because it's not a celebrity and because it's written in verse, if this is something that I will enjoy a little bit better than the normal memoirs that I read. A book that was recommended to me by someone in the comments on one of my videos is Aminas Voice, and this is by Hina Khan. This is about a Muslim girl, and she is struggling. Her and her best friend are struggling with being the minorities in their school. Amina's mosque is vandalized, and somehow she learns to not be so shy and not be ashamed of who she is, but to speak up about what is right in her town. So it sounds like it'll be a really good pick for the diversity challenge this month. But 2 that I'm not quite sure I'm gonna love, and I'm actually thinking about doing a try a chapter tag with some of these, because I'm not quite sure I'm gonna really get into some of them. One of them is Serafina and the Black Cloak by Robert Beatty, and I believe this is the beginning of a trilogy or a series, and I'm not quite sure too much about it, but when it first came out, there was a lot of booktubers that were talking about it. In this book, this girl, Serafina, and her father kind of secretly live in the basement of this estate. At night, a person in a black cloak that wanders the halls of the estate, and then children start to go missing, and Serafina is the only one that knows about this man in the black cloak. So there's a bit of a mystery, it's a bit of a fantasy, and I'm not sure I'm gonna like it, but I am interested in giving it a try. Another book that I'm not sure I'm gonna like is Furthermore by Tahara Mafi. I started the Shatter Me trilogy by her a long time ago and could not get into the writing at all, so I'm a little wary of this one. But I know a lot of people really like this one, and I'm interested to see if her writing kind of fits with this more whimsical story. It gives me a lot of Alice in Wonderland vibes when I hear people talk about it. It's about this girl who is black and white in this world where color is a hot commodity. So I don't really know what the plot of the story is going to be, but I'm interested to give it a go and see what I think. I just today watched Jenna from Jen the Librarian's TBR for March, and she mentioned Escape from Mr. Lemoncello's Library, which is about this group of kids who are called to the library to go on some kind of scavenger hunt type adventure. And it's a book about books, and I am down for that. When I heard Jenna talk about it, I knew I needed to go right to the library and pick it up. So I did. While I was there picking up this one today, I also found this collection of short stories called Flying Lessons and Other Stories. And this is by a host of middle grade authors who write diverse reads. So Jacqueline Woodson, who wrote Brown Girl Dreaming, is on there. Somen Shinani, I believe she wrote The School, Midnight in the School for Good and Evil or something like that. Matt LaPena, Grace Lynn, Kwame Alexander, Meg Medina. Some that I'm familiar with and some that I'm not that familiar with. But I am interested in reading middle grade short stories. I don't think I've ever seen a short story collection for middle grade readers before. So I am excited about this, and I'm excited that this is all going to be some diverse reads. A book that was recommended in my BookTuber Recommends collaboration video is The Lions of Little Rock, and Lisa from Books and Smiles recommended this book, and I believe it is about two girls who become friends in Little Rock in 1958, where there's a lot of race struggles going on, in particular in that time. And these two girls kind of become really close friends in the midst of it. So I think that sounds like just a lovely story. Maria from Read, Create, Repeat Homeschool is reading this one this month, and that is Stella by Starlight by Sharon M. Draper. This is a book that talks about slavery from a young girl's perspective in North Carolina. She sees some things that she probably shouldn't see at such a young age. I feel like this is going to be very hard-hitting, and I will probably need some tissues. I am excited to read The One and Only Ivan by Catherine Applegate. I've not read anything by Catherine Applegate, and I've heard that she is a wonderful author, and I think my friend Lisa from Brand New Book Smell just read this one and really liked it, and I've heard a couple other people on BookTube talk about this one as well. So when I saw this one at the library, I knew I had to get it. This next one is a newer book, Snow and Rose by Emily Winfield Martin. I like the way that the flap describes this one, so I'm going to read that to you. Snow and Rose were two sisters, as different as night and day. They lived in the woods, but it hadn't always been so. Once they lived in a big house with spectacular gardens and an army of servants. Once they had a father and a mother who loved them more than the sun and the moon. But that was before their father disappeared into their woods and their mother disappeared into sorrow. This is their story, and the story of the enchanted woods that have been waiting for them to break a set of terrible spells. It has a very fairy tale-esque feel to it, and it's a gorgeous book. Oh, there's even colored pictures on the chapter headings, and there are pictures throughout as well. I know that this has had some mixed reviews. Some people were really having high expectations for it, and it didn't quite meet those expectations, but then others really enjoyed it. So I feel like it's one that I'm really gonna like, but I'm keeping my expectations low. So we shall see. The next one I have is Orphan Island, and this is by Laurel Snyder. And this is about 9 orphan children who live on this island. And once a year, a boat comes with a new child and takes away the oldest. So it's a bit of a survival story, and I'm hoping that we learn how it all started and why these children are on this island. But it just sounds like a fun read. I don't know what happens to these children, if they buck against the system or not. We shall see. Then I have Lucky Broken Girl by Ruth Behar. This is the story about a girl from Cuba who moves to America and is struggling learning English and adjusting to her new home. And then sadly she is in a car accident and is in almost a full body cast, and feels like she has to learn everything all over again. While she's in the hospital in this cast, she's visited by a lot of people who tell her stories and bring her gifts, and it seems like it's going to be pretty heartfelt and a lovely little story in learning how to find optimism in the face of tough stuff for a little kid. So I'm looking forward to reading this one. And I heard about this recently on 2 different people's channels, and I wish I wrote stuff down like that because I can't remember whose it was. The final book that I have here is Nevermore, and this is by Jessica Townsend. Nevermore, The Trials of Morgan Crow. I heard about this from a number of people, but Molly from Molly Reads definitely sealed the deal when she talked about this book. I knew that it was going to be one that I had to pick up this month. So this has Harry Potter vibes, and it's about this girl, Morgan Crow. So early in her life, it sounds like Morgan is kind of blamed for a lot of things that go wrong. And then one day, this man named Jupiter North sweeps in and whisks her away to Nevermore, which is this magical land where she kind of learns that she's got some powers and special things about her. She has been chosen to participate in some secret organization or something along those lines. It just sounds like it'll be a magically fun ride, and I'm really looking forward to it. Clearly, I have a lot of library books here that I probably will not be able to get to all of them this month, so I am thinking of doing a try a chapter tag with some of them. Before I ask for requests from you, I know that I'm going to read Nevermore, and I know that I'm going to read Echo and Brown Girl Dreaming. The rest of them are kind of all up for grabs, so if you have any in particular that you've read that you think are wonderful and that I should read, or if you have any requests of ones that you really want me to try to get to, let me know that down below, and I will be doing a try a chapter tag later this month with some of the ones that I haven't gotten to yet. So I would love to hear from you which ones you think I should read, which ones you think sound interesting to you, or that you'd like to see me do a try a chapter with. Be sure to let me know down in the comments below. I'll talk to you in another video very soon. Bye!